of a big recruiting weekend in Tuscaloosa for Coach Kalen DeBoer, his first of many that I'm sure he's going to have with Alabama before it's all said and done. Guys like Ryan Williams back in town again, second time that he's come to Tuscaloosa to meet DeBoer. Of course, he was a guy that was committed and then decommitted on the same day that Nick Saban retired. But maybe Alabama's back in the picture again. DeBoer looking to Washington and some of his old players with the Huskies who have all gotten into the transfer portal, a lot like what's happened to Alabama's roster. And some of those guys will be in town. We're going to talk about them, including his first commitment, who just so happened to be one of those guys, Austin Mack. That and more here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Hope you're having a great weekend. Roll Tide, everybody. Let's get this thing started. Roll Tide, everybody. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. I'm Mick Gillispie at Broadcaster Mick on the socials, and I appreciate all of you guys for being here as we talk Alabama football. Let's throw him on the stage. There he is, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama's football coach, watching some of the best players in the Alabama secondary fly out of town. Caleb Downs in the transfer portal. They're telling us that Trey Amos is going to Ole Miss. You got other guys like Kite that went and flew down to Auburn. It's been just a turbulent week and a couple of days since Coach Saban left. But on the Feinbaum show yesterday, Coach DeBoer said, hey, it was worse when I got to Washington. And basically, we'll see him start to build the roster instead of watching players leave. Let's talk about some of those players. Now, I'm going to begin with Jabbar Muhammad. This is a guy that Texas is after. Of course, they have all their Lambos ready to lease out to any player that wants to come to Austin, Texas. And Jabbar being one of those guys. But for DeBoer, he can say, hey, you know what it's like to play for me, and there's some unfinished business here. All Pac-12 second team, 46 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 20 pass deflections for Muhammad, and Alabama would love to have him. He'll still go out to Oregon and check in there, and we'll find out if he decides to come to Tuscaloosa. A lot of the publications feel like he's going to end up in Texas, but he hasn't visited Coach DeBoer in Alabama until now. Here's a guy that I think would be a great fit for Alabama, and I'm sure Coach DeBoer feels that way. Parker Brailsford. 2 games at right guard, 13 games, including the national championship at the center spot. Alabama, turbulent center last year, a lot of bad snaps. The coordination between Seth McLaughlin and Alabama's quarterback, Jalen Milroe, was bad at times, and some of the bad snaps came at the worst possible moments. Well, this guy has done a good job of it. He'll be in Tuscaloosa. He'd be a great fit. And I don't know if I'd say this any other year, but it would be fantastic to have this center. He, along with Brockermeyer, will be the 2 guys at that spot unless something changes. This guy, Noah Carter, look for him to commit really soon. Edge rusher out of Arizona, 4-star prospect, 6'3" plus, 220 pounds, loves Coach DeBoer. Went to Washington because of Coach DeBoer. Now he's in Tuscaloosa. Doesn't have any other visits planned. I think he's going to come to Alabama. Watch out for this, and this could happen at any time. These are the type of wins, though, that Coach DeBoer needs just to stem the tide of feeling like everybody's going the other direction. Talking about other direction, I think we were all shocked when Jermaine Burton went to the NFL. We knew that was coming, right? But when Isaiah Bond transferred to Texas, called it a business decision, I think a lot of Alabama fans really felt sick to their stomach. Well, here's a guy that may make them feel a little bit better. Jermaine Bernard, wide receiver, started his career at Michigan State, then went to Washington. Last year was part of that wide receiver core that was second best pass catchers in the country. 738 yards, 34 catches, and 419 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, all-purpose yards, a guy that can do a lot of different things, and a player that Alabama would really like to have just to get some more playmakers out there. Now, I'm going to finish up with a guy who I think a lot of you are hoping changes his mind and recommits to Alabama. One of the worst, sometimes timing, even though you don't really mean anything by it, sometimes timing is everything. And for Ryan Williams to decommit while they were basically reporting that Nick Saban was retiring just was a bad look. But from what everyone says, he's a great kid. And he is sought after. Auburn going to try to backload a truck of money to his house. Who knows about Texas and some of these other schools. But he's been an Alabama commitment. Now, you got a lot of questions about what's happening. Obviously, a new offensive coordinator with Ryan Grubb. If I was a wide receiver, though, I'd say, hey, I want to play for the receiver whisperer, and that would be Ryan Grubb. Alabama's X's and O's on both sides of the ball is going to be better this year. Recruiting, that's where Nick Saban really, really excelled. Alabama, I don't know what they're going to do in that area. We'll find out. But X's and O's, this guy, all the talent in the world, bring him to Tuscaloosa and see what he could do with Grubb and DeBoer. We'll find out. But he's in town, second visit. He was close friends, or still is, with Julian Sayin. Where's that quarterback going to go? The 5-star that left because of the transfer in of Austin Mack. Hey, maybe he hits it off with Mack. We'll find out. But expecting some news from Tuscaloosa, and who knows, maybe Williams will reconnect with the Crimson Tide before his official signing day in February, which is coming up, less than a month away. But this is one that I think all Alabama fans would really like to see end up in Tuscaloosa. He's been described as a Julio Jones type talent. We saw him score, 6 touchdowns in a game against Hillcrest? I mean, this guy's for real, and it would be great to have him back as part of Alabama's team in 2024 and back part of that recruiting class. So DeBoer, good news. Look, he's got him in town, talking to him, trying to create a relationship. He's already friends with a lot of guys that have been at Alabama, have been practicing, the early enrollees. And so hopefully the Crimson Tide will be able to make some waves with Ryan Williams moving forward. All right, that's it. Just a quick report this morning. We'll be keeping an eye out for breaking news. And these days, every time you close your eyes, something else breaks. So we'll be back when that does happen. But thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Roll Tide, everybody. Make sure that you like and follow. I really appreciate all of you guys for helping make this channel a great place to come hang out, talk Alabama football, and we'll see what happens. Roll Tide.